Welcome to the world's first straight talk Solarcast. This is your go-to podcast for answers about solar. Brought to you by Solar Harmonics in Northern California, who invite their customers to own their energy by purchasing a solar panel system for their home, business, or farm. Each episode, we discuss questions facing people making the decision to go solar. The solutions to your questions are given to you straight by one of the leading experts in the solar industry, Jamie Duran, president of Solar Harmonics. Feel free to search our library for answers to questions that you're facing when considering solar. And now, here's Adam Duran, our host with the questions, and Jamie Duran, our solar expert with Straight Talk Solarcast.
Hello, Jamie.
Hello, Adam.
How's everything in the land of solar this week?
Going great. We, for the first time in I don't know how many years, we have a new website. Woo-hoo.
Hey!
So finally, yeah. Perfect. Yep.
Right.
So, Adam was instrumental. Actually, he did all of it. The website, and now it's much more relevant. It's much more useful. Has a lot more information and a lot more. It's a really nice looking website. So, thank you, Adam. Anyone out there, go to solarharmonics.com. See what you think, and we've really tried to put a lot of thought into it to make it as useful for prospective clients and existing clients as possible. And we think it's a massive upgrade over the previous one that you did. So it's been pretty good. So
Right.
So we're very excited about that. Then next, it has been a weird week in the world of solar power. We're having clients contact us who selected another company for some insane reason, but they went with another company for their solar, and the company just kind of walked off the job. And so, solar has been installed, and some of the electrical is done. The equipment's just left there, and they just not calling back, not answering their phone, and that's really odd. And so,
right?
Yeah.
Why? Or I guess every case is different.
Every case is different. One guy in particular, the solar company, I think what happened is they installed everything, they got the permits, and then when they went to get PG&E approval, PG&E said, "Oh, you need to upgrade that service panel." And normally, you want to know about that ahead of time. But a lot of companies just say, "Oh, okay, no problem. Hey, customer, here's a change order for $4,000, and you can either pay it or we just don't finish the project." And I think in this case, a lot of times in the 80s when new homes were built, PG&E service or the developer decided that 100 amp service is sufficient, and the power lines are underground. And so if someone wanted to upgrade their service to normal 200 amps, which is pretty normal for most homes these days, or higher, it's not only is it upgrading the service panel at the home, but now you have to cut open the street, cut open the driveway, like literally with it like a diamond saw, concrete cutter. You got to upgrade the electrical from the street. And you have to get PG&E involved and PG&E approval and everything. And it can add $15,000 to the cost of the project, and it can add, up to 18 months for PG&E to approve this. So,
and
that's what I think happened.
So is it because the infrastructure is very old?
Yeah.
Okay.
Old and underground. So if it was above ground, with the power lines that you see, all the power lines stringing from house to house and pole to pole, those are much easier, believe it or not, to upgrade because you're just changing the wire and maybe that weatherhead that sticks out of the roof. But if the power lines are underground, these were some of the first power lines that were put underground when these homes were built. They thought, who's ever going to need more than 100 amps? And so,
no idea.
Yeah, exactly.
What's an electric car?
These poor people have half a solar that they've paid for. Of course, they paid for everything up front, and now they're trying to find someone to finish it. And that I haven't examined everything, but I have a feeling that is what is the case. And so I think the solar company just decided to say, well, we're out and good luck. And it's going to, you're going to be really mad at us either way. So we might as well save the money and the aggravation, and you can find somebody else, and good luck. And so that's,
wow.
Yeah, brutal. I'm sure that company is way cheaper than us, though. So,
and ouch. This could have been usually. I mean, I imagine this could be avoided at the beginning, right?
Must be avoided at the beginning. Yes, we've had plenty of customers where we did the whole solar, as far as all the proposals and get their financing in place, contract signed. Then we do our site inspection and we say, oh shoot, here's what it looks like. And because we don't know what their electrical is until we get on site.
Right.
But it's really critical to say, oh, it's 100 amps or 125 amps, and we need a 200 amp. And there's things we can do to work around it. And it is possible that workaround there's solar ready main electric service panels that possibly could do it without the street upgrade. But generally, if it's a street upgrade, it's a no-go on the project, just because it's a huge amount of time investment, a lot of working back and forth with PG&E. And of course, all the neighbors hate it too because it's so loud. But yeah, it's generally a deal killer is how we put it. So
if I'm a homeowner and my house was built, whatever, like 30 plus years ago, and then I can look outside and go, hey, there are no power lines in the air above the street. Then I can look at my service panel and go, this looks pretty old too. Any tip-offs to that homeowner? Or those are the three?
If you open that service panel where the circuit breakers are and there's no label, then that means that was probably installed before the time labels were required. And so, but if there is a label, you could take a picture of it and then zoom in and see if you can see any kind of rating on it. But in general, this is pretty standard practice for most solar companies. They check the service panel, and if there's an upgrade needed, it's painful, but it's probably required. And it's interesting that we're seeing this more and more of companies just walking off, and it's I don't see how they can continue to do that, but it's brutal, especially.
And they just leave all the equipment on the roof and.
In these cases, solar panels were installed. The batteries were just left on the ground, so not installed. And then all of the electrical was not done. So, you have all these solar panels up on the roof and not generating any power. Plus you're out the, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 that you paid for this system. So, not my favorite. And then good luck trying to find any company that will finish this, because all the permits were in the other company's name and warranty and going forward. And, the other company basically took all the profit and ran, and maybe they'll get them to come back. That's what I told them. Is force them to come back and finish the project. So, nope. I guess that's why they have lawyers, right? So it's get
so, I mean, but before all this process, like during this process, the beginning part, you should ask, if you're listening to this podcast, do I need a panel upgrade? Right?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
And because none of my neighbors have solar, which is probably pretty rare now. But I mean, if you look around your neighborhood and there's no solar on anybody's house, that could be an indicator that, this could be a problem.
It's pretty rare. It's pretty rare when this happens, and it's even more rare when the homeowner doesn't know this information up, from even one inspection, because most competent solar companies are going to say, "Oh boy, this is a big project." So, do you want to move forward with a 18-month upgrade? And you won't even notice the difference either. So, except maybe occasionally breakers not popping anymore, but most people can live with a few breaker pops rather than, $18,000 of electrical upgrade. So, oof.
Wow. And when this happens, you're going to be going back into your pocket for an extra $20,000, $30,000 when this happens.
But if you do it as part of the solar project, it's subject to the 30% tax credit. So it's kind of the best time to do it. So, before, and it, like if you were adding a new air conditioner or a hot tub or a heat pump or
Yeah.
something, heavy electric usage appliance, you're going to need to upgrade anyway. And
Right.
so, then there's no tax credit available. So.
And so having an
It's not
EV
my
station
favorite.
installed, that kind of thing. I mean, if you're in a
Yeah.
modern house,
Yep.
you need more power
Yep.
as time goes on. It seems anyway.
Oh, forever and ever. So, and we're just getting started with the electricity usage in California for sure. Because we'll be phasing out natural gas, everybody, and it's coming sooner than later. But
Wow.
We've talked about that many times on other podcasts.
Yep.
But I want to talk about something else really quickly.
Oh boy,
we
go.
wrap up. All right. So PG&E teamed up with Apple, that Apple computer, and they have released a new residential PG&E account to the Home app. So I don't have an iPhone, but I know you do, Adam. And so delete some apps because I know your phone's probably maxed out. But if you go to the Home app on your iPhone, and then you tap the Home tab, then Home Settings, tap Energy, and then Connect Account, and that's where it's going to fall apart. But once you're able to connect your PG&E, once you're able to connect your PG&E account, then it's actually a pretty interesting app. It can start syncing your energy usage data. It takes a few hours for it to start syncing, but basically, you can start seeing how much power your home is using. It'll show the solar contribution, and it'll show kind of in a mix of peak time versus off-peak time and tips for saving energy and everything. So it's a pretty nice app. It's a much better improvement than their current app. And the current app is not too bad either. So, and it's not really even an app. You have to go onto pgne.com, no app for it, but you can make it an app if you want. But in any event, so look for that in the Apple store. One day it'll come for real phones, like the Android side. But
so it's called PG&E app.
Yep.
And
Home
you've
app,
confirmed
I
this?
believe. I'm looking at the press release right now.
Okay, what's it called?
It is called the Home app. Yep.
The Home app. All right.
HOME app. Yeah.
Okay. Home Depot app. No. But Home
Nope.
Lifestyle app.
Apple Home. I don't know. These Apple
I got
people.
it. I found it, Jamie. It's called the
Hey.
Home app. Don't look up PG&E app because that's a different app.
Yeah. Look up Home app on the iPhone.
Okay.
All right.
And
And
then
you
I
get
can
that set up
connect
and you can report back to us next week, Adam.
Yeah, I'm going to do this right now and waste everybody's time and then say, it's not
That's
there.
my favorite.
Jamie. It's
That's
not
my
there.
favorite. That's
Nope,
my favorite.
not
That's
there. I don't see
tomorrow. We'll circle back to you tomorrow. But yeah, can't find it. Oh, and then my favorite. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's right here. That's
Oh, I got it now.
Yeah, I got it now. I don't see it. Okay, no. Anyway, we'll wrap it up right there.
All right, great. Thank you for taking another few minutes out of your week to learn a little bit more about solar. Jamie's been doing this podcast for a while. I think 7 years, maybe longer. So he has answered every question you could possibly have about solar. If you have a question that you think he might have gone over in a past episode, you can go to our website, solarharmonics.com, click on the podcast link at the top of the page, and you'll be taken to a library of our past episodes. If you'd like to ask Jamie a question, you can go to Straight Talk Solarcast on Facebook and send us a message through there. And if you would be so kind as to give us a 5-star review wherever you listen to this podcast, we would be eternally grateful. Eternally. So until next time, everybody, see you.
That's all for now. Thank you for listening to this episode of Straight Talk Solarcast with solar expert Jamie Duran. Join us each week for more answers to your solar questions. Speaking of questions, got some? Email us at solarcast@solarharmonics.com and we'll be sure to give you an answer in an upcoming episode. This episode of Straight Talk Solarcast is brought to you by Solar Harmonics, the leading solar energy developer in Northern California, who invite you to own your energy. Visit them on the web at www.solarharmonics.com.